Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Evolution League Racing. We are here for round 12 of season number 3, back where it all began, at Circuit Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Unitos hits the first driver on a qualifying lap as he heads us down into turn number 8. For the final race of season number 3, returning to the track where we had the first race of season number 1. Following here with Toya, your driver's champion this season, taking us through the high-speed chicane of turns 12 and 13 into 14. Oh, big snaps! He goes almost into the wall. Just about keeps it out, but that's going to be Toya's qualifying run over. I don't know if he's planning to start last. I think he was talking about it, but he's definitely there on the lap, seeming to be pushing. He's got the white Red Bull, which I think we're going to see the majority of Red Bull drivers using from now onwards. And the same for this livery. The pink V-carb is a really lovely one as well. And yes, Unitos will be the first driver to cross the line to finish a qualifying run. I think drivers will be looking for 41s in this session. A 143.9 is what Unitos was able to do. I want to check. I think drivers will want the we'll be looking for the sort of low 41s, as R34 42.3. Is the best time we got so far. 47.9 from is not going to be a very competitive lap, but something will have gone wrong around the circuit for that one to be the best he can manage. It's Power GT in another white livery. This time the Ferrari as he comes round the last couple of corners. I want to say he's racing here for the first time as he does a 143.0 to go P3 there. Yeah, we've got Charlotte just starting a lap there. I believe Willow's just ended one, which indeed she has, a 142.7. I'm still trying to look up this. I want to see it. This here. What? Yeah, the drivers will be looking for. At the very. Well, it's like they'll be looking for mid to low 141s, I think. We may be seeing mid to high. Depends how good of a lap the drivers are able to set, really. Pole might be somewhere in the range of 41.5 as Aang goes faster there with 42.3 in his Alpine. As, yeah, just coming back into the pit lane with something clearly going very wrong on that first run. Charlotte's a little bit up, not a little bit up, she's not set a lap so far as she heads down into Blanchimont, and then it's the final chicane just ahead of her before she concludes her first qualifying run of the session. You know, you can't really predict what the times are going to be until the drivers get to this sort of part of the circuit, until you at least see the first couple of sections. A 41.9 and fastest from Charlotte by 4/10 even is the P1 time. 41.5 could be very possible then. You know, the mid to low 41s. So yeah, that's a very solid opening run from the Aston. Will she be able to replicate that around, like, will she be able to do that again? I don't know, did she get a toe on the lap? No. Because Unitos is just on his out lap there. Yeah, so that's a very strong lap, which puts a provisional P1. I don't know if Toya's actually going to do a lap here. Or if he's going to choose to start last instead. And just starting what will be his second run of the session. I believe that's on the same set of tyres, which indeed it is, as he heads down to Eau Rouge up Radion and onto the Camel Straight for the second time on this set of tyres. So obviously it won't be quite at the level it would have been on his first run, and considering that's a soft tyre, it's quite a long lap. Those tyres will be quite past their best, is how I describe it, as he heads down in towards turn 8, using the hot lap mode, which will cost him, especially at a circuit like this one, where preserving battery to the end of the lap is oh so important. So here, heading down into Pur now, turns 10 and 11, before he's down into the chicane of 12 and 13, running on board with the Alpine as he takes us through the chicane of turn 14, rotating through 15, and he's a tiny bit up on his personal best. I don't know if he's going to complete the run, because he doesn't have very much battery, and he's not up by very much as he heads down into the large chicane. It's just using way too high of a battery mode. The hot lap mode on this game is pretty awful, especially at the tracks like this one. And with a slide through the final corner as he comes across the line, it's P2. It's not an improvement for Ray, and he doesn't improve, but that is the second run he's done on those tyres. So yeah, we've also got the Aston Martin of Unitos, who was a second up, but he's invalidated his lap. So yeah, he won't be finishing this one. He should be back into the pit lane. No, he's going to take the checker flag, even though he has invalidated, just to see where he would have been. It's a 43.2 with 7/10 found in the end. Would keep him in P7, even if he had completed it. So yeah, it's not ideal of a position for him to be in. R34 is half a second up, heading down in towards the final chicane, but he's run out of battery a little bit before he gets there, which is going to affect his run coming out of that last corner. But it's not going to be the most drastic of things. It's quite a short run to the line. R34 across the line, he does go fastest with a 5.5 improvement in the end. There's Om coming around the last corner as well. He's used all his battery too, and he improves up into P7. Mr. Business as well, 4.5 tenths up in the end, so he crossed the line, 42.0. Then the Alpine of Ayan obviously is on his way back into the pit lane, having done 2 runs on those tyres. There's no way he stays out in this situation. As yeah, he just heads back into the pit lane. And then there's Unitos, and the Aston Martin is having a spin on his way back into the pit lane. Not quite the ideal direction for a Formula car to be facing, in case you didn't know. So Willow's backed off that run. She was 2 tenths up in Sector 1, but has backed off through Sector 2. And so, yeah, she'll be heading back into the pit lane, as will most drivers out on circuit, really. There's, yeah, the only one who's not on an in-lap is Charlotte, who is on an out-lap. I want to say it's a wet race, from what I've heard. But it's quite hard to actually predict when the rain's going to come, because no one can trust the in-game weather radar. You kind of have to make it up on the you have to guess from the track temperature. But yeah, so taking the old esports line there. But yeah, so Om's just going to be heading back into the pits as well, as he managed to... What on earth are you doing? Om's just heading back into pits. R34 currently P1 is going to be doing the same, as he almost spins into pits as well. No one knows how to take the pit lane entry, apparently. Toya's still on a lap. Or Toya's out again. I don't know if he's actually going to do a lap. He said he would get... You know, he's saying he will get pole comfortably if he does, but... I don't know, we'll see. So... yeah. Charlotte heading around, and we'll start what will be probably her final run of the session, unless she has enough fuel to back off and go again. But here we go. Charlotte takes us down in towards turn number 1, going to get stopped as well as she can manage through third gear through turn 1. Possibly want to go down to second for that little bit better rotation, but it's a little bit of driver preference involved with that, as Charlotte now heads up through Eau Rouge into Radion, using that bit of battery at the top of the hill to avoid scrubbing that little bit of speed. Burning quite a lot through Sector 1, burning a real lot through Sector 1. I feel like he should be saving a little bit more for the last sector. Tiny bit down on her personal best though, as she rotates it through the Lecombe chicane up through turn 7 now, and down the hill into turn 8, a little bit more battery again. But now getting it stopped for a hairpin. Probably could have braked a little bit later than that, but rotates it nicely. And then through turn number 9, back on the power again, heading down in towards turns 10 and 11 off Huon. Really just merges into one big corner, but technically is separated into two as she now heads down the chicane of 12 and 13. Back on power again before she heads down into Stabilo, the two right-handers that set you up for the run down into the bus stop chicane all the way. It'll be flat pretty much to the line from here. Obviously there is the big chicane in the middle, but that one isn't at the end of the day. I don't know what the hell am I saying. It's quite a long way down the straight. And then it's one last traction zone with the DRS. She's going to just about run out of battery before she gets to the line. 41.7 from Charlotte, who does improve the provisional pole time, but doesn't have the fuel to go again. That's Charlotte done for qualifying. Here comes Willow as well. Toya, I don't know if he's going to complete the lap. He is going to come across the line, and we'll see what he does with the DRS. It's a 41.0. from Toya, 7/10 faster than what Charlotte was able to manage. I don't know if he's going to stay there, or if he's going to get disqualified and start last. That I'm not too sure. As Mr. Business just starts his final run in through Sector 1 as well. Then there's the Williams of R34 just coming into the last chicane, as is Power GT. Om's a little bit further behind. Toya has been disqualified, yeah, he doesn't want... He is a little bit on the apex there, and I don't know if he'll have got in R34's way, which would be pretty embarrassing if he did, to be honest. Yeah, should have the time. There's a yellow flag, so I don't know exactly how long is remaining in the session. But here we go. It's the final runs of qualifying. Willow's 2.5 gents up through Sector 1, heading down into the chicane of turns 12 and 13. Will want to be back on the power as soon as she can. A little bit onto the curb, a little bit out of control possibly, but she's kept in a straight line and rotated through turn number 14. Lost a little bit of time in the middle sector as she heads down in towards Blanchimont. 10.5 up will not be enough to see her up any positions as things stand. We'll need to find... or another Another 2.5 tenths on top of how much she's already up. And she's out of battery before she gets to the final chicane, which is going to be quite a big loss of performance. A bit of a slide coming out of the final corner across the line. 2.5 tenths found. Not enough to jump up any positions. Ayan with a big slide as he comes through the last corner. He improves as well, but it's not enough. He stays down in P4. The Aston Martin Avunatos coming across the line as he goes into P7 ahead of who's crashed around the lap. And I think my game might have crashed. No, it's not. Okay. His business improved by 9 thousandths of a second, stays where he is. Can R34 do enough? No, he can't. Charlotte's not set the fastest time in qualifying, but she is going to start P1 with that 1:41.7, proving enough to beat R34 by half a tenth of a second. R34 not getting that final run-in, which probably was not helped by encountering a Toya on the apex of turn 1. So the race is starting, Dry. I don't know if there's going to be rain. Second to last tile, so it will come. It'll be right at the end of the race. Here we go. There's the formation lap. About to get underway. Rain at the end of the race. Second to last tile. I think people... the hard is an awful tire to start on here. It's the C1 compared to the medium being a C3, soft C4. So the hard is not a fun tire to start on, but those that are starting the hards could go all the way to the rain, because the tire goes basically like... I was talking to people about it. I think they said the tire lasts like 33 laps or something. It's crazy. The tire just does the entire race if you want it to. It's just really slow. So I'm wondering if the guys on the hard are planning to go to the rain. Those on the medium are just going for their normal strategy. And maybe even saving a soft for use if, like, they pit lap 8, go onto a soft, rain comes, like, lap 12, lap 13. I don't know. You'd probably want to pit sooner than that if that's the case. I don't know. Oh, Mike and Polly have collided on formation lap. That's fun. Polydrum on the hards is going to be... He's going to struggle to get through the field early on, because those hards will be pretty bad. You know, the hards are not a very good tyre. 2 white Red Bulls. It's beautiful livery. And it's really nice on board. R34's leaving a little bit of a gap to Charlotte, who's kind of run off on pole there. And Toya's leaving an awfully huge gap to everyone else. But yeah, only 11 drivers is a little bit unfortunate, but we get what we can get. Where are you going? After all that, he's not even very angled. Charlotte's angled. She wants to defend that inside into turn 1. Oh no, she wants to take the racing line into turn 1, sorry. Here we go. The fire lights ahead of the Belgian Grand Prix. Should be rain at some point. It's lights out. And away we go. And Charlotte does get away well. She is going to lead into turn number 1. She covers off R34 very nicely. Mr. Business on the inside. Gets a little bit involved. Facing the wrong way. That's Willow, who's gone off at turn 1 there. But Charlotte leads away. R34 second place. Aiden in third. Mr. Business down to 4th, having made a little bit of contact on the apex. Mike and Polly going side by side as Mike moves. They're up into 8th and 9th, having made a couple of places off the line. Azul, Josh and Power GT losing a couple of places. Mike up to P6 already. As they're all swapping places down into the lower part of the field. Mike and Toya going side by side through the com. As Mike on the inside, can he get the move done? I don't think he'll quite be far enough there unless he's going to fancy the lunge under braking into turn 8. He gets it done. Toya, having a little bit of damage, is going to be struggling starting at the back of the field. As Mike up into 5th place, having started last. Toya up into 6th. Polytrump up into 7th. In 8th place, has gained overall, but on those hard tyres, he's going to be struggling. All of those running the hard tyres are struggling, because they're not a good tyre, especially not for the race start. R34 is somewhat struggling to keep up with Charlotte at this stage, with the gap being 0.8 of a second. But yeah, everyone within a second of the next car. Mike will be looking to close into Mr. Business as soon as possible. Mr. Business on those hard compound tyres is going to be struggling, especially in these first couple of laps. Mike going to be looking to get past as soon as he can. Ian looking to be dropping out of the DRS of R34, which will be a big help to Mr. Business behind him, as Power GT has lost DRS to Polytrump, as there's this 4-car train at the back of the field. As we head on to lap number 2. Is Mike going to be close enough to set up a move on Mr. Business? I think he might be, because Mr. Business did go a little bit wide at turn 1. It depends what the straight line speed differential is going to be. 0.3 of a second. Mike will need to be significantly faster on the straights to get past, and there's only so much difference people make in the setups at this circuit. I think Mr. Business has gone too high with the wings, as Mike breezes past without even needing to burn. 1.1 seconds he is now behind Ian, but he should gain that pretty quickly, as he should be the faster driver, and his lack of battery won't really matter in this middle sector. Is Toy going to fancy the lunge on Mr. Business? He's not going to. He stays behind in P6. And these lot are in danger of losing out if Mr. Business continues to drop back at the rate that he is doing at the moment, because he's not very quick right now, as he already dropped to 0.8 by Mike. Mike closing in on Ian, got the gap up by another 0.4 of a second, and already looking to be getting involved with this front train. Mr. Business is quite possibly about to lose the DRS to him now, as we go to 1 second between Mr. Business and Mike. It'll make Toy's life a whole lot easier. as he tries to get past, Mr. Business having to use that little bit more battery to stay close. It will be 0.7 of a second, and he will be okay. R34 and Aiden goes side by side in the last corner. Aiden goes spinning round. Lost a bit of his front wing. Coming into the... No, he's changed his mind about coming into the pit lane. He rejoins the race down in 8th place. And now Mike is still just about close enough to R34. I didn't see what happened with Aiden, because they were side by side, and I cut to him, and suddenly he was just nowhere, as he's just being absolutely swamped. Down to 11th place is the Alpine. He's down to 11th and last. He's got wing damage. He considered pitting, but he didn't in the end. Toya does get past Mr. Business into Les Coms. Mike doesn't have enough battery to stay too close to R34 at this stage, but once he saves that up a little bit, I'm sure he'll be fast enough to get back past. Unitos and Power GT going side by side through Les Coms as Unitos moves up into 9th place. Or Power GT's going to think about it on the inside. He's not going to be able to get his car back past. These lag really starting to annoy me. Because yeah. It's fine, I think. But yeah. Charlotte leads. R34 second place. Mike in 3rd. Who's firmly got himself back into this fight. He's got less battery than the two in front of him, but that's by nature of having to catch up to them. Mike will be more than fine in this race, I reckon. Because he's right there on the back of them. He won't be able to get past for a while, but he's more than fast. He's absolutely faster than them. And when he just needs to close in, he just saves the battery for a few laps, and then he can dump down the straight. He may even fancy a little cheeky send at some point. R34's a lot closer than he's been to Charlotte at any point in this race so far at 0.3 of a second, but a little mistake on the exit turn 1 is going to cost him the chance of overtaking, really, and it might just allow Mike to get past him. He's got the better run. He's got the run up Radion. Does he have anywhere to get past when they're going to be so similar in straight line speed? They both have such similar levels of battery. Mike's not going to be able to get himself quite past the Williams driver. But if it keeps going like that, he could be in with a very solid chance. He's just trailing behind at this stage. No way through. He's going to have to find a way through before too long if he wants to challenge Charlotte long term. You can pit pretty much whenever you want at this circuit. An undercut would be lap 6. Ideal stop would be more like lap 8. And you could go pretty much anywhere in between. Or longer if you so choose, but that will cost you quite a lot. As Toya still trying his hardest to close back up. He's just outside a second to Mike, and if he's got the battery to use, which he does, he could very well get back in to that 1 second. Just running wide there is the Williams of R34. And now Mike's burning his battery trying to get past the Williams. He's got nothing left, does the Racing Bulls. R34 does have a little bit of battery left as they go side by side into the last chicane. I think Mike's just about got himself ahead. And as they go through the bus stop chicane, Mike is up into P2. And Toya is right back in this fight because he's right there on the rear R34. He's going to fancy the send on the inside of the Williams. There's a little bit of contact at the apex. I think he might have just got that done. And he has done. Toya now up into 3rd place at the detriment of R34, who's lost 2 places in just one sector, really. But he's still right there, practically pushing the Red Bull up the hill. Mike's 1.4 seconds behind Charlotte. Here goes Polytromp past the pair of them with the extra battery that he saved from not going for that earlier move. And he's now up into 3rd place. Charlotte just running very low wings, able to pull away so much through Sector 1. But with how they are right now, Mike should be able to close back up and save some battery behind the Aston Martin, who realistically is never going to break out of the DRS. Although She is definitely forcing Mike to use more battery than is ideal, which is making it easier for her to pull away again on the subsequent straights. And she's playing it well at this stage, but if Mike ever loses DRS, Polytron will just go past him, most likely, and then they'll be back in again. Because of the way these guys are having to burn around the lap, Zunatos picks up a 3-second bounty. It means they have very little battery left by the time they get to the Kemmel Straight, and then Charlotte, with lower wings and more battery, can just burn and pull away. With Mike being pretty much zero every time he gets to this bus stop chicane, it's just ideal for Charlotte, really. The pit stop phase will be interesting, because that will be an opportunity for all of these guys, really, to try. It'll be an opportunity for people to shuffle the order around. Because like an undercut isn't that powerful, but it can be, depending on how it works. And into the pit lane quite early on. At the end of lap 5, this is. He's going to go on to a set of the hard tyres that will take him to the end of the race. Or at the very least, until it starts raining later on. Pydromp thinks about fancying a move on Mike. He's not quite got enough to do so. Mike saving a little bit of battery down the Kemmel Straight, seemingly. And Mike's got a little bit more battery this time around than on the previous occasion. And he's going to use that little bit more battery. And try to get that a little bit further away from Polydromp, who's on those hard tyres that will be getting better per every lap. But they can only be, Polydromp's strategy might have worked at this stage, because he's used the worst tyre already, and he's in a very good position. But there's still a decent distance still to go, and he's going to have to pit onto a medium at some point. Depends on how long these guys are gambling on who's planning on the rain coming when, is going to be a big talking point, and a big thing that will affect the race. When are people expecting the rain? And can Mike get past Charlotte, who's in? It's an early stop. This is very early at the end of lap 6. This is definitely an undercut. Or, yeah, the equivalent of an undercut, but she's ahead. It doesn't gain you that much. Mike and Polytromp in clean air will be able to work together. Polytromp will probably go past. And then we'll see what it looks like. There's a yellow flag through Sector 1 as Unatos has gone round. Through the first corner, comes out right where Charlotte is. And it's going to give a DRS, which has worked out perfectly for his teammate. Toya moves past R34 finally to get up into P3. Still driving with that damage, bear in mind. Where will Charlotte come out relative to Mike? Polytron won't pit this lap, because that would be silly, because he's on those hard tyres. Polly will go quite a bit longer, I imagine. But where will Charlotte come out relative to Mike is the main question at this stage. So, yeah. Another yellow flag. Unatos has gone off. He's hit the wall. And he's out of the race. It's a safety car. So after spinning and giving Charlotte DRS, he felt a little bad for the guys out front. And he brought out a lovely little safety car for them. Will Polytron pit? I think he's got to. That would force him to do 12 laps, roughly, on the mediums, which might be doable. It'll be pretty nasty. I think he's got to pit. Yeah. So with the rain coming at some point towards the end of the race, it makes sense for everyone to pit. Because those guys who are on the hards can go on to a set of the mediums that they can hope will take them to the rain. It's definitely advantage Mike at this stage, I'd say. Because Mike has those hard tyres, but those hards will take a while to warm up. Why did it take so long for him to service on? Oh, yeah, Toy double stack. How did he change his wing? Did Toy change his wing as well? Yeah. So Charlotte is now down in P5 because of that safety car. So this one will be interesting. Because Polly's onto another set of the hard. So Polly is banking. Yeah, all of these guys going onto another hard are all banking on pitting for inters at the end. Because everyone who's done a hard at this stage is banking on a pit stop for inters, which will probably happen, especially now that we've had the safety car. As you know, it's literally just Polly and Mr. Business that are banking on that, but those two need to stop for inters because they need to change tyre. They cannot go to the end like this. They have to make another stop, and so they'll be hoping for either another safety car or a very nicely timed spot of rain at the end of the race, maybe like 3 or 4 laps to go, and you box for inters, and that'll work out very nicely for them. Because the thing with this bar is it's a long lap and not a very long pit lane. So pit stops, especially in the rain, are a lot more worthwhile than you think. There's lots of corners in the middle sector for you to lose time from being on the wrong tyre. And and it's a short pit lane. It's possible to overtake, very, very possible to overtake, even with the RS off. So it could be viable to pit sometimes even with 2 laps to go. Almost pitting again. He's going on to a set of the hards, I think. You'd assume. So what Om's done there... No, he's going on to a set of softs. Why would you pit off a medium to go onto a soft for any reason other than rain in about a lap? Like, for that call to have made sense, he has to have been told rain is imminent, and it doesn't look like rain is imminent. The sun is in the sky. I don't know if I see the vision with pitting off a medium, losing track position to go onto a tyre that lasts about 2 laps. Like, the medium is a better tyre after 2 laps. I don't see the vision at all. He'd be better off staying on mediums. I mean, it's effectively a free pit stop, but the soft isn't very good. It really isn't very good. Yeah, not sure I see the vision on this one. I mean, I respect trying, I guess. But... is it the right call? Probably not. Maybe it will work, I don't know. It might. But it very well could also might not. You know, like... could work. It could. It could end up with being last in a few corners. He is last, actually. I don't know. Safety car should be in this lap, you'd hope. Yes, it is. Very nice. So, Polly's got to slow them down for a sector. He's on the hard tyres. He has to pit again, as does Mr. Business. Power GT can technically go to the end, as can On. But neither of them, realistically, are going to make it. 13 laps to go. Neither of them are doing 13 laps on this set of tyres. They're banking on either another safety car or the rain coming quite soon. and it's not exactly overcast just yet. Polytron goes. Leads them away into the last corner. And we are not quite racing again. We are... Now we're racing again. As Polytron takes them across the line. Green flags. In 0.8 of a second. Very nicely done from Polytron to get a very nice advantage by the time they get to turn 1. Willow and Power GT going side by side through the first couple of corners, through just turn 1 there. Power GT holding on with the outside line, and the better tyres giving him superior grip. I'm still quite a long way behind the field. He's 5 seconds back. I swear he caught up at some stage. He has missed a business under pressure from Charlotte and Toya, who goes to the outside. Can she find the space? I don't think she can. There's a little bit of contact with Toya, and Charlotte goes off the track. Was she forced off, possibly? Does she keep the place? Yes. Is there anything too drastic that came of that? No. Possibly a warning move if she got one, which she quite possibly did. Polytron was gapped a second to Mike within the first half of the lap. And before the DRS is back on, Mike really not turned it back on since the safety car. He's really seems to be struggling at this stage. He's going to have to use quite a bit of battery in this last sector if he wants to stay close, but Polytron has 90%. Mike is just... And he's just fallen away completely on this restart. He's out of the DRS of Polytron, and he's going to be in danger of falling into the clutches of those behind. Try and move past Charlotte up into Blanchimont, and just about clinging onto the DRS at 9/10 of a second. Mr. Business thought about going for the move on R34, but he couldn't do so. Yeah, Mike's lost so much time. So Polytron was 1.6 seconds. Side by side there between Willow and Ayan into the last corner. As Ayan now has the inside line, is he going to be able to get past? There's a bit of contact between the two, and I think Ayan is going to get ahead into Eau Rouge as Willow is going to back out of that one. They head up the hill. Ayan now up into P9. Willow's not going to be letting it go that easily though. She's trying to find that gap to go for on the inside. She's not going to quite have it. Ayan covers her off and keeps that position. She sends it up the inside. There's contact. They both go off the track. Willow's still there on the inside. There's Ayan into turn 3, and I think she's got that done. But no, she's still not able to get in front. There's contact again. Hitting the rear of Ayan, losing a little bit of a front wing as they go side by side through turn 8. But Ayan still keeps his Alpine in front. Willow able to find no way through. She now goes off through Puon. Polytron keeps its lead at 1.6 seconds after all of this going on. Those who have now dropped off the DRS trains, quite unsurprisingly. Om's now on the rear of... No longer on the rear. Om's now ahead of the Racing Bulls, who's limping with damage. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see her in the pits retiring. Toya gets past Mr. Business into the last chicane. She moves up into P4. He's at danger of losing out to the DRS of R34, who's at danger of losing out to Mike, who's possibly going to get back into Polytron, but he's going to be a little bit too far back. R34 is just about going to stay, and so is Toya. So in the end, nothing changing on this occasion. But yeah, Polytron's still able to stay out there, leading the race with no one in his DRS. Which, at Spa, is quite the feat, to be fair, to pull DRS and stay there. R34 is definitely at risk of losing out to Mike's DRS, with the gap floating into dangerously high 8 to 9/10 of a second as they head into Puon on this occasion, and I think he very well might lose out on the DRS, but if he can string a good lap together, he might just be able to stay close. You're just about floating around a second, so it'll be close whether he stays in DRS. It'll pretty much depend whether he gets it into the bus stop, whether he gets it down to the Kemmel Straight. At 1.4 now, I think R34 might just have lost the DRS here. With Toya now right behind him, going to be trying on the outside into the chicane. Is he going to be far enough ahead? He's going to brake late, move around the outside. R34 lets him go, wanting the DRS that little bit later on. Mr. Business now has the DRS advantage on the Williams. He's going to be close enough to think about a move. He's going to send one. Under braking into the source. There's a little bit of contact. And Mr. Business had a bit of a slide under braking and has now lost the DRS because of it. And R34 will go straight back past him. And look at this. R34 gets the better run, gets the DRS, and Mr. Business is back down into P5 and at risk from Charlotte, who now has the DRS. Pulled to the inside, and Mr. Business trying to go for that aggressive move has in the end just lost a place. And now Toya has another car back in the DRS, but making the move there into the bus stop seemed to have been the right call for him. But yes, they head round. Toya's now trying to close back into Mike, who's unable to stay close to Polydron. Poly being that much faster at this stage. Power GT has lost the DRS to Mr. Business. He's got AM right behind him as well. R34 miles out of the DRS of Toya. 1.8 seconds. Can Mr. Business stay close enough to go for the move on Charlotte? I don't know. Charlotte will have the DRS and seem to be pretty quick on the straights in that first stint, so I wouldn't be so sure whether she can stay or whether Mr. Business can go for the move on her in a couple of corners' time. Toya very close behind Mike and potentially looking to move past into second place and maybe challenge Polytron for the lead. So he gets the run out of the last corner. Is he going to be close enough? He's not just yet. Rotating through the source. It's an all-important exit here. And he's got a good enough run. He turns the battery on, which I don't think he realised he's done. Or maybe he did do it on that, I'm not sure. And now with the overtake. No, he's choosing to stay behind and save the battery. Down into the source. Oh, no, not down into the source. Out of the source. Down into Lecom. There's 8 laps to go at the end of this one, and it's definitely clouding over. Especially down the Kemmel Straight, which was so... You know, the sky was so clear at one stage in this race. It's definitely a lot cloudier than it was before. Om's gone off and brought out a yellow flag, lost a little bit of time. He is now sitting 7 seconds behind. Yeah, I don't think that was the right call, pitting for the softs there. Especially not coming off the mediums to go onto the softs. You know, when I saw him back in, I thought he was going on to a set of the hards, but clearly not. Toya's close, and I think he's going to move past Mike here. He's going to try the outside line. He's going to try the inside line. There's no way through at this stage. I think they've both just given up on Polytron, who's sitting almost 4 seconds in the lead of this race. Both have a full battery here, so it'll be interesting who deploys how much battery as Charlotte moves back past Mr. Business into turn 1. Mr. Business trying to find that move, but can't really do anything against the Aston Martin at this stage. He's going to get the run. He's not going to get the run, really, because Charlotte has so much more battery, she can just say no. 4 tenths of a second. How much are these two going to burn here? Toya's going to burn. And he's going to move past into second place, or is he? Because Mike moves across, covers him off, and stays in that P2. Toya has to settle for third. Mike makes a mistake on the exit of Lake Carmen. Now, is he going to be under pressure? He moves to the inside to cover it off, takes the racing line again. And it is still P2 for the Racing Bulls driver. He's just about clinging onto it. But now R34 is just about to get onto the DRS. Look how they've been fighting. The Williams is back within a second. Is he going to be able to stay there? Here's another question. But for now, he is back within that second. Charlotte is within the second of him. And it's all a DRS train from P2 down to P6 right now. Here goes Tori. He's going to go for it. Into the large chicane. Mike lets him go. We'll now have more battery and the DRS. So yeah, Mike's just going to move straight back past him. He's right there behind. A little bit of contact pushes Toya a little bit wide. And now Mike on the outside gets forced off the track and goes spearing into the wall. He's going to be okay, but he's got damage. And he's retired. He's just given up on circuit. You're not allowed to do that. But Mike's just had enough. He's gone. R34 now up into second place. Toya gets the exit. Oh, he gets the DRS. But he's now got Charlotte right behind him, who's also got DRS. She's going to try and move up into third place, eyeing a potential P2 in this Grand Prix. But she has to stay behind. Toya now is... Oh, Toya remains in that P3 and will be looking to try and get back past R34. But yeah, now Polydromp leading by 6 seconds. It's very, very comfortably out front, even if it does start raining, which it's so far yet to do, but the rain shouldn't be far away. Did I just see a drop there? I did. The rain is here. And with 6 laps to go, everyone is going to pit for inters. It's perfect for Polydromp, because there's no way this rain doesn't get heavy enough for a stop in the next 6 laps. 6 laps of Spa, it has to be heavy enough for a stop. You can see the rain starting to fall as Toya's gone off into the chicane. He's got damage, I want to say. So I saw someone's front wing flying. Mr. Business is up into third place. Charlotte's lost quite a bit of time. She's lost a bit of her wing. It's Charlotte who got the damage. Toya's gone off. I think she's gone to the rear of him. Pushed him wide. I'm not sure. But now, Mr. Business up into third. Is he close enough to get the DRS? Yes, he is. Mr. Business with DRS. Charlotte with DRS. Aim with DRS. All 3 of them battling out for position. It's going to be Mr. Business who holds on to that third place. A in fourth. Charlotte now in 5th. Is she going to change that when she pits for inters? I'm not sure. Or is she going to try and... Because surely she can't stick it out on slicks in that with the car in that condition. And Polydromp can do whatever he wants, really. Because there's no way he's going to be undercut by 7 seconds. And Polydromp can just react to what everyone else does. 7.5 seconds out front. R34 has a 1.5 second advantage over Mr. Business, but it all depends how well he can do in the rain. Om's been on those softs for 8 laps. I swear soft tyre wear is like 10% a lap. Or maybe I'm just making that up, but those softs will be dead. He's trying to stretch them to the rain, I guess, but those tyres will be terrible. Toya right from the back of Power GT following that earlier contact. He's going to go and move quite swiftly past the Ferrari. Not much point in Power GT fighting this one. Toya has better tyres and generally will be faster. Moves back past into 6th place, sitting 1.1 seconds behind Charlotte as he comes through the final chicane. I think he's just going to miss out on DRS on the pit straight. Power GT's in. It will be too early for inters at this stage. Those will overheat and burn out. But you give it half a lap. Maybe it'll be inters by then. I think Om's following him. Yeah, Om's following him in. So this one will be interesting. 2.5. Om's spending the pit lane. Oh, you had absolutely no pressure, and you sped. As M moves up into third place, moving past his business into Lecom, and up into that P3. Can he close down the gap to R34? These guys going on to the inters will be a good case to see what the weather's doing. It still doesn't look like it's into weather. 31.3 seconds is their gap. We'll see if that starts coming down. At the moment, it's only increasing. I doubt these inters. Yeah, that is not the right call yet. Give it another lap, maybe? So I'd say pitting now is an undercut. As Toya moves past Charlotte. Charlotte's lost a lot of time on that previous lap. She does have that damage now, to be fair. And is going to be struggling a lot. When's Charlotte going to hit will be an interesting question. Yeah, it's definitely not into conditions just yet, and I don't think anyone's going to pit. Polytrump has to, is a thing to bear in mind. There is no two ways about it. Polytrump must pit. There's R34 drifting in that last chicane with a big old rear lock. No one pitting just yet because it's not time for the inters, and Powdy 2 is proving this, unfortunately for him. How long are these guys going to go? Polytrump has to pit. I think this lap will be the lap to box. Because the rain is clearly getting heavier, but it's still quite light. As they all head into Lecom right now. How long will it be until these guys pit? I don't know, because they can't go too much longer. They really can't. Oh, Polytrump definitely can't, because he's got to pit again. So does Mr. Business. Those two have to pit again. Do they go this lap? Or do they go another one and wait? Because I think it will be faster not to pit. Unless it suddenly becomes wet very fast. I realistically think if it's not pitting this lap, it'll be faster to stay out, but it just doesn't look wet enough yet. I think Powdy is gaining, I want to say. 4.1 seconds. At the very least, he's staying roughly equal. It might honestly be faster to pit for new dries. What's Polytrump going to do? He has to pit again. He stays out. Powdy is still lapping slower, but he's getting less slower. There's only so much longer Polytrump can go. He's got to go. He either pits this lap or the next. There are no two ways about it. He must make a pit stop. The race leader is leading by 9.5 seconds, but he has to come into the pit lane either this lap or the next. Either he pits and goes for a set of softs, or he goes for the inters, or he just hopes that in a lap's time it'll be worth pitting for the inters. It's raining. You can see it. It's clearly raining, but the track is still dry. Here comes Mr. Business. The DRS is still on. He moves around the outside of Toya and maintains that 4th place. Oh, a little bit of contact as Toya tries to sneak back up the inside. There's nothing he can do. It's still so much slower to be on that intermediate tyre right now. Mr. Business sliding all over the place, though, as Toya tries to find a way past. A big snap on the exit of turn 8. Seems to have kept Mr. Business in the place for the time being. Does Polytrump go for a soft? I could see the call for going for a soft. It might be faster, but I don't know. If Polytrump stays out here, he has to pit on the next lap. Is Power GT starting to gain now? He's starting a lap roughly equal. And if the rain does only get heavier, Polytrump stays out again. He's got to pit now. Polytrump has this lap remaining in which he must come into the pit lane. He leads by close to 10 seconds, but he needs to gain 10 seconds on the final lap when he comes into the pits. This is going to be so tight. He's like... Does he go for an inter and hope it starts raining more? Or what does he do? Toya re-overtakes Mr. Business. And Mr. Business is in the same situation as Polytrump. He's got to pit again. Realistically, Mr. Business will only lose one place from this, because he'll fall behind Charlotte, but should still be ahead of Power GT long term. But he doesn't have a chance of fighting Toya. It goes straight off the track at Le Gomme, rejoins down behind. Charlotte gets a 3-second time penalty that may well get removed because of the... if she got a warning when she went off a couple of laps ago. Right, Polytrump. What tyre are you going for? You've got a 10-second advantage, but crucially he's used 2 hard tyres and nothing else. His game will have told him on the previous lap that he has to come in or he gets disqualified. It's now or never. He must pit. He has no other choice. He gets disqualified if he doesn't. 10.5 seconds is his lead. He'll come out about where Charlotte is. And it's not intermediate weather yet. What tyre does he go for? The race leader is forced into the pit lane, going on to the final lap. And it's going to be R34 now, who assumes the race lead. Polytrump, he's pretty much not set a foot wrong, is going onto a set of the softs. He should have pitted multiple laps ago if he was going to go onto a soft. But in he comes. He had no other choice. He rejoins in P4. He's pretty close with Toya. He's got to find 6 seconds on this final lap. It's not going to be doable for him. The only way Polytrump wins this race is if Ayan and R34 both receive time penalties. I haven't seen them do too much wrong, so I doubt it. What these two were banking on was that the track was going to get wetter. I think they should have gone for an inter, because now the track looks wet. They pitted for a start, and now the track looks wet. It's going to be so tight. Polytrump trying to find the way past Toya, who's defending the middle of the track, and it's really only going to be helping those top 2. Polytrump, who won here late on in Season 1, finds the inside into P1, and he moves past into P3 to secure himself the podium. Can he gain another 3 tenths to get within the penalty window? Ayan, who came so close here in Season 1, losing out at the final chicane, is going to be in with a chance again. But will history repeat itself? He's 8 tenths behind, he's only got 10% battery, and it's a big slide coming out of Stavolo there. And it looks like R34 now 1.4 seconds clear. Is going to head into the final couple of corners. Kept the nose clean. Kept out of trouble. Round the last chicane. Wins the final race of Season 3. R34 wins in Belgium. Polytrump, Ayan comes on P2. Polytrump really should have been on top there. He comes home P3. It's Toya P4, Charlotte P5. Mr. Business as well make the same strategic blunder as Polly. Both should have pitted numerous laps ago. But it's Mr. Business who comes home P6. Power GT P7. It'll be Om in P8 and Willow P9. And Willow will be the final car across the line to end off Season 3. And yeah. That was entertaining. That was really entertaining at the end. No one got cleanest driver. R34 wins. R34 wins. Faster lap for Om. But yeah. A very exciting and fun way to end the season. Yeah. R34 victorious in the end, Ayan in second place. Which I believe might... Does it secure him second in the drivers? He gains 10 points on Mr. Business. It's not quite going to be enough. Mr. Business second in the Drivers' Championship. Mercedes second in Constructors. Alpine, though, do get third, with Aston Martin falling to fourth. Your top three in the championship then, Toya, Mr. Business, and Ayan. And in Constructors, Red Bull, Mercedes, and Alpine. Those three teams. But yeah, an enjoyable season 3 in the end. And we've got fun things in store for you in the new year. After Christmas, in hopefully early January, we get back going. That would be my ideal. I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at. Early January would be when I'd hope for. But yeah, keep an eye out for season 4. And we hope